All right, let's get into the details of the stories from the courts. Murtala, yesterday you told us that the Saglemi housing case will be coming on. But before we get into that, you told us also about the James Quayson trial.
Yes.
So what's happening in that regard? James Jashi Quayson.
Straight to
What's
a
happening in that regard?
And for many who remember, this matter became something else in this country at one point in time when the issue of dual citizenship came to the fore. James Jachi Quayson was charged 5 counts, including perjury and forging of official document in relation to how he managed to file his processes at the EC to get the law to contest in the 2020 election. Eventually, he won. The court at the point in time declared that the way he contested that election was all constitutional. So the EC declared the seat vacant, went for by-election, and eventually won. But the issue about the criminal matter is still before the court. Yesterday, he appeared before Justice Mary Mami Ikwe-Yenzu, together with his lawyers, led by Chachu Chikata, the veteran. In fact, he was here some time ago with Sewa during an interview here. Very interesting conversation he had with Sewa. So yesterday, but in fact, what they indicated was that there is a motion that they want the Office of the Attorney General to furnish them with some documents. So disclosure, they want some more disclosure. They filed that particular process. But the AG have responded. But unfortunately, they were not given a copy. They have not been served with the AG's opposition to that particular request. So, in all, that case has been adjourned to the 11th of December. And that is about 3 days or 4 days after the December 7 election. That day, probably, James Jachi Quayson would have already known his fate, whether he's retaining the seat or somebody else is taking, or his contender will take the seat from. So yesterday, he was in court together with his lawyers, like I mentioned, Chachu Chikata. And that case has been adjourned to the 11th of December. So that's what happened in James Jachi Quayson case. He's still before the court for charges and he's facing trial. Prosecution fourth witness is still in the witness box and they are cross-examining him. And because of certain responses that he gave, that is how come lawyers of James Jachi Quayson, the member of parliament for Assin North, is asking for those documents from the Office of the Attorney General to be able to also put to the witness or subject the witness to proper cross-examination. So that case will come back on the 11th of December. So that's what happened here in relation to James Jachi Quayson's matter.
All right. So another case that came up in court, apart from James Jachi Quayson yesterday, was the case involving Oliver Barker-Vormawor. Osajifo, Oliver Barker-Vormawor.
Yes.
Interesting. Oliver Barker-Vormawor. So, yes. What's up with that?
So, the leg of the case we are talking about is the one that has to do with the treason felony. You note that this was the very first of the cases. I remember as far back in 2022, February 14, was a Valentine's Day. That was when Oliver, when he was returning from outside Ghana, was arrested at the airport, and it became a whole lot of issue. That case is before the High Court, also still being presided over by Justice Mary Mami Ikwe-Yenzu. Yesterday, the matter came up, and of course, lawyers of Oliver Barker have filed certain processes also to challenge the decision made by the court. But the AG's office were saying that they are also responding to that. But yesterday, when the case was called, no show. But Oliver was not present in court yesterday when the judge made the point that, look, this is an accused person who has ever been present in court. He has never absented himself in relation to this leg of the case. So if the court is minded not to issue a bench warrant for him, but the lawyer should ensure that at the next court sitting, that will be after the elections, Oliver will be present in court. If he doesn't come, the court will be forced to issue a bench warrant for him. In fact, yesterday, the parties appeared, AG's representative were the lawyers of Oliver Barker were also present in court. So, in all, this case has also been adjourned and it will come back again after the election. So that is what happened in relation to the Oliver Barker-Vormawor case.
All right. So we remember that some time back, someone allegedly parked a vehicle in the middle of a train track.
I'm sure you are making reference to the Imppadan.
Yes.
The
Imppadan train accident, where the train, which was being tested,
absolutely
got an accident.
For
because
a lot of people will remember
allegedly
this case.
there was a vehicle which was parked in the middle or something like that.
And just in the middle of
the driver was arrested and a host of other things.
Yes.
We seem to have forgotten about that case.
A lot of people. So
but it came up in court.
That is why this issue is very relevant for anybody out there, because when you think that the case is lost, they're going to bring it back.
Because we made a lot of noise about it. We're asking questions. Who in their right mind will be parking?
Yes, a track of that nature.
Track, in the middle of the train track. Was it sabotage? Was it intentional? All of that, and then...
So we note that the driver of that particular already is a convict. He's been convicted by the circuit court already, and so his case is done. But those accomplices, those you see on your screen, they are before the High Court in Accra, and they are also facing separate charges in relation to how the roles that they played in that particular train accident at Imppadan. And yesterday, the case was called. You note that Justice Lady Osema is the one handling this case, but because she has been elevated to the Court of Appeal, the trial has not started yet. So the new judge will be manning the Criminal Court 5, Kizito Kwashi, Justice Koa Kwashi, who will be handling the court, will be dealing with this case. So yesterday they came, it was mentioned, and has been adjourned to the 16th of December. So 16th of December, the 4 that you saw on your screen a while ago, will be back in court in relation to this, the Imppadan train accident. In fact, it became a whole lot of issues.
Yeah.
We're told that over $1 million was spent in...
Can you imagine? Why would somebody just come and park a truck in the middle of the train?
So you know that in Africa and Ghana, to be precise, we do a lot of... So those are the accused persons who have been arraigned, 4 of them, who have been arraigned at the High Court. So they are living. This is the first time that they appeared at the High Court. So this case will come back again.
So all these 4 people are involved in the case?
Yes, they are involved.
What are they being charged with?
They've been granted, because in fact, more like accomplices. They are accomplices.
Accomplices.
Yes. They played roles in ensuring that accident came to the fore.
So let's talk about...
of December, they'll come back.
So let's talk about some of the cases that we can expect in court today. Saglemi.
Yes.
Saglemi house.
The case involving Alhaji Collins Dauda.
Yes.
A member of parliament for is it Sutifi? Abetifi.
He's former Minister for Works and Housing.
Yes, former Minister
Alhaji
for Works and Housing. He's also seeking re-election in this constituency. So this case will be back in court today before Justice Ernest Owusu-Dapaah. The last court sitting, I did indicate that the third prosecution witness was in court, Madame Lucy Tete Akwete, and she was telling the court the role that she played in this whole Saglame affordable 5,000 affordable housing unit, and the fact that he played a role. But unfortunately for her, I beg your pardon, she's on retirement. And so the witness statement that she filed at the court was at the time that she was still at post at Bank of Ghana. And so this time around that she is on retirement, the lawyers asked the question, is she able to respond to questions? Is she able to answer questions at the current happenings at the Bank of Ghana? If not, then we don't think that she's fit to testify. So prosecution requested for an adjournment to be able to put their house in order, primarily contact the Bank of Ghana to be sure, to be clear whether they have her blessings to be able to testify. And whatever thing that she says, they will be responsible for all of that. So before Justice Ernest Owusu-Dapaah, the court will be informed about the decision they have taken in relation to the third prosecution witness whom the prosecution is calling to testify. So this case will come out today, and then we'll learn more about how it will pan out in court.
So what about the man who allegedly robbed the former second lady, Mrs. Amissah-Arthur? Will he be appearing in court again today?
Yahuza Osmanu, yes, self-acclaimed businessman. He is alleged to have robbed the former second lady, Mrs. Madam. Yeah, I say Mrs. Madam. Mrs. Amissah-Arthur's wife, Matilda Yaba Amissah-Arthur.
So he's back in court today?
He's back in court together. The last court sitting, the court warned prosecution to file all their disclosure documents, witness statement, to be able to hold a case management conference and all that. In fact, if you look at the charges that were initially pressed against him, 26 of them, it has been reduced to 24. So at the last court sitting, they filed an amended charge sheet, which he pleaded not guilty to. So if you look at the charges that have been said that there were charges of money laundering, but they dropped those charges of money laundering and made it dishonestly receiving because they found out that some of the vehicles that were stolen vehicles, which were also in his possession. So today he's back in court before the Criminal Court 5, presided over by, in fact, Justice Lydia Osemafo was handling this case, but it is possible that because of her elevation to the Court of Appeal, Justice Kowa Kwashi likely to handle this very matter.
All right. Let's finally talk about the case about the murder of a soldier at Millennium City, Casper Millennium City.
Ben Lord Abebiu, for those who remember, this incident happened in October 30, where a military officer is said to have gone to that area to check on a parcel of land. An unfortunate incident happened, and he was shot dead in a car. And in fact, when the incident happened, he wanted to go and make a report at the police station, and just closer to the police station, he was rather shot. And the man who has been arrested, or who is at the center of this whole matter, is Ben Lord Abebiu. So he's back at this. He's been arraigned. In fact, committals have been done. He's been put before the High Court. His plea has been taken. He pleaded not guilty. He's still on remand. In fact, with one another who, as we speak, is on bail. But with Ben Lord Abebiu, he's still in lawful custody. And today he'll be back in court. Jury will be impaneled, and then the decision will be taken. And we'll know when the trial will begin in relation to this case. So Ben Lord Asamoah, Ben Lord Abebiu, the man, is a traditional ruler somewhere at Kaswa, Millennium City, where this incident happened, will appear today, and they will know more of this very case.
All right. Thank you very much, Murtala Inusah.
Thank you, Lantam.
For bringing us all of these details about the cases that are of interest in courts. That will do it for courts today.